It is time for the midterm grades, fellas. We're through 6 weeks. Midterm grades are in. So this is an A and B scale, A, B, C, all the way down to F. That's how we're going to do it. Coach, you're up first. Baltimore Ravens, what's the grade?
Well, I'm going to give them a B+ because, like Coach Harbaugh said, they're not quite at their A game yet. They're playing well. They've overcome that 0-2 start, doing a lot of good things, but they're not quite there yet.
I agree with you, Coach. I give him a B+ too. And Zach Orr, defensive coordinator, he's learning his guys.
Yes.
Nate Wiggins, rookie cornerback, he's playing well. Kyle Hamilton has proven that he's the best safety in all of football.
Yep.
But I like where they're heading. They're getting better on defense.
Yeah. Or young guy, too, about 33 years old. Coach, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think they're finding they know what their identity is. They're playing to it now. They're giving the big man the ball enough to get things going.
But also, Coach, if Baltimore is an offense, they can play any form of ball that you want. You want to shoot out, they can go shoot out. If you want to pound the ball and play physical, they can run the ball 40, 50 times. They can play any style, and that's what makes them really dangerous.
You're right. Lamar Jackson proved that with Joe Burrow last week, and that shootout that game turned into. I think probably the best signing of the offseason was Derrick Henry, though, especially when you evaluate the price that they got him at. That was sensational, what it's brought him. And that gets us to our first trivia question in the history of Sunday Night Football final, and that is Derrick Henry, the first player with a rushing touchdown each of his first 6 games in a season since blank.
Can I guess?
You can guess.
I'm going to go ahead, Coach.
I'm going to say Emmitt Smith.
I'm going to go with my former teammate and Hall of Famer, LaDainian Tomlinson.
I like that. All right, I'm going to take Adrian Peterson, and we will find out in segment number 3. They didn't even tell me the answer, so no teasers. All right, let's move it along.
You would tell us anyway.
Yeah, that's probably true. Green Bay Packers, 4-2 now they are. Remember, they lost their quarterback in Love. He has made a return, but they hung in there without him. What's the grade?
I'm going to go B for these guys, and I think they're doing really well. Matt LaFleur did a tremendous job when Love got hurt. Malik Willis came in, looked very professional. They won games with him, and now Jordan Love is playing lights-out football.
Coach, I'm going to give him a B+. Jaden Reed, he is a star, and Jordan Love is just unbelievable, the things that he can do. They got so many weapons. All those young guys are weapons. They can run the football with Josh Jacobs, and that defense is starting to get better. I like where the Green Bay Packers are headed.
And you know what I was really impressed with today? Romeo Doubs.
Yes.
Last week, he misses a couple of days of practice, gets suspended, and usually when guys are suspended, they're in the doghouse.
Yep.
Well, they got him going today, Rodney, and got him in the flow of things.
And this just really it speaks to, keeping everything in house and just Matt LaFleur as a head coach. This kid is a very talented kid, and obviously he was frustrated. So you don't want to, just totally kind of just get rid of him.
Right.
You want to continue to build his confidence because he's going to be valuable. They're going to need him down the stretch.
From the doghouse to the penthouse, he had one heck of a game. Couple of scores for him. Philadelphia Eagles, 3-2 they are. They beat Cleveland. They stink. So take that with a grain of salt. Coach Dungy, you're up first. What'd you give them?
I'm going with the C. They won the game today. They're playing a little bit better. They got their 2 wide receivers back, which was huge. But they're still, to me, they're not playing Philadelphia Eagles football. You got Saquon Barkley. You've got a great offensive line. He still couldn't average 3.5 per carry. You're playing Cleveland. It's a tight game. They won, but I'm still not happy with
Coach, you know what? I'm going to give them a C+, and I'm going to go with you. They won, but I think they lost because they lost Jordan Mailata, they lost Darius Slay today, and they lost Dallas Goedert, I think, to a hamstring. That's 3 starters that you lose. So they win today, but they ultimately lost 3 guys.
Every time I did get a C, I always appreciated when the teacher would put a plus out. Shout out to you for that. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, they got them back as well, and you felt their presence. Wanted to mention that. The Dallas Cowboys, oh, boy, 47-9 against Detroit at home. They have not won any games at home this year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm giving them a D-. I think this team has talent. I think they show it on the road. We saw them in Pittsburgh play with some heart. I didn't see that same heart today. I didn't see that toughness. They're not running the football. They can't stop the run. They're making mistakes. And when you're not scoring at home, something's wrong.
I don't understand this team. They look one way in Pittsburgh, which they didn't look great, but they fought. At least I saw some fight in there. And then they come back and they just get blown out the waters. I just don't understand it. And just look at the defense, the missed tackles. I know you don't have Micah Parsons, you don't have DeMarcus Lawrence, but I mean these guys they got to be able to make these tackles in the open field.
You can't lose a game by 40 points at home.
Nah.
Not a game that you're supposed to win against a playoff team from last year, and just not showing.
When you're a Dallas Cowboy coach, and this is throughout the league, players, teams want to beat you.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the jealousy, because of all the attention you get, all those different things. Teams are going to show up every time they face the Dallas Cowboys, and they have to understand that. You have to be ready.
Doubt.
And I thought their defense would have some trouble with Detroit's offense and Detroit running the ball, but I thought the offense, 3 field goals, that's not what I expected.
Now, you can't have that when your quarterback is the highest paid player in the league and you want one of the highest paid wide receivers in all of football. You can't have that.
It's almost like they feel the pressure of Jerry's world. It's a weird thing. They play at home this year and they just look like they're feeling it. And Jerry Jones, it was his birthday, and here was Jerry after this loss, which was embarrassing and difficult for him to handle.
This was very concerning, and it was very humbling, and it was very I felt bad because of all of our great fans, and especially the ones in this stadium. This was a shocker. I thought we would do a lot of things better in that football game, and I think we can. We just didn't do them out there today.
So what would be running through your mind if you're Jerry Jones right now?
Well, what would be running through my mind if I was an employee of
Does
Jerry
he have a
Jones
job
right now? Right? My boss is not happy. He's shocked. He's concerned. He thinks we can play better. They've got to get it going. They really do. I think they can be a playoff team, but we need to see them play every week.
They're just not that's mental toughness. And when you have mental toughness, you have the ability to win a game, enjoy it, celebrate it, put it away, and focus on the next week. And they just don't have that ability. It's just a very immature team.
Yeah, and we do send all of our best as well to Aiden Hutchinson, who suffered that just brutal injury. One of the truly good guys in this business that we get to talk to, and I know that we all feel the same way about him, and that was hard to watch. That was just one of those moments, and it was just so hard to watch. And he underwent immediate surgery for that broken tibia is what they are calling it. All right, so let's move it along. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they now are 4-2, tied with Atlanta for first place in the South. We got a battle going in the NFC South. B and a B+. B for Tony and a B+ for Rodney. Okay, take me through the B.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the overall year, and so far it's been very good. They gave up a lead last week to Atlanta, which they should have won that game. If they win that game, I'm giving them an A. But they're playing well. Todd Bowles has them going. And today I thought was outstanding because I live in Tampa, okay? This team moved out.
Yes.
They took everybody, took the families. They're in New Orleans practicing all week, but you're worried about your home and what's happening. You're hearing all the reports, the hurricanes coming. That is a very, very tough mental game. And to go in there and put up that kind of yardage, score 50 points, that was a great job,
Coach,
today.
and that was a big part of why I gave them a B+ because, a lot of props to them. It's tough to focus on football when you're worried about your friends, you're worried about your family, you're worried about, is my car going to float away or my house is going to, my basement going to get flooded. You worry about all those things.
Yeah.
And to be able to come out here and to be able to play in front of a lot of people and get a win, that's huge, Jack.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's been very good all year, but I'll tell you who's giving him a lift. Bucky Irving. He's making some plays in the passing game. He's making great runs. He's just energizing them.
Yes.
He sure has. All right, the Houston Texans, they are 5-1. The only one they dropped was against Minnesota. That was when Flores was just knocking off every hot offense. The grades are in. What are they?
I'm a tough grader, but I gave them an A because I really feel like they built on last year. They had some great expectations, and they're coming out and they're doing it. They
got better, huh, Coach?
They have gotten better. C.J. Stroud is playing unbelievable football. Offensively, they're moving it. And this defense, they're something to deal with.
Coach, I can't lie. I did the same thing. I gave him an A, and it's Danielle Hunter. It's Will Anderson. It's this young secondary getting better. And they're going to continue to grow. But D'Amico Ryans, he's been fantastic, keeping his team focused, continuing to push them, and not allowing a young team to get comfortable or complacent.
And I know you said in the offseason you thought the Danielle Hunter signing was one of the best signings in the whole NFL.
Absolutely, because you have to pay close. You have to respect both of those guys. Will Anderson, if you slide to Will, then you got one-on-one opportunities for Danielle,
Would there be an A+ in the whole league? Would Kansas City get an A+? Now you guys got me curious.
No.
No A+.
Okay.
How can Kansas City get an A+?
Tell you what, these are tough
See how they look
professors.
on offense?
I mean, they are undefeated.
Yeah.
All right, we move it along. The San Francisco 49ers, they are 3-3.
And that's not what I expect. I'm giving them a C+ because I have higher expectations for them. I think their quarterback, Brock Purdy, has played tremendous football. Obviously, the McCaffrey injury hurts them.
Mason's played well, though.
Yeah. They've done a lot of good things, but defensively, they gave up 2 10-point leads that they had in the fourth quarter. And that's not what you expect from the 49ers. Now, they're going to play better. They'll get guys back and get healthier. But right now, at this moment, I'm giving them a C+ because I expect a lot out of them.
Hey, Coach, I'm the same way. My expectations, I told you guys, I thought they were the best team in the NFC at the beginning. And they lost to Arizona, they lost to the Vikings, and they lost to a beat-up Ram team that didn't have half their line and guys on the defensive side of the ball. But George Kittle, he's played extremely well. He stepped up, and like I talked about, Mason's played well for him.
Yeah.
They got a big one coming up against.
But this is definitely a different team when Christian McCaffrey, when he's on the field, defensively you have to scheme up completely different because he can do so many things.
We got C+ against not an A+ coming up when San Francisco plays Kansas City next week.